Hi guys, today I wanted to film the video about another visit to Harrods and perfumes I smelled recently there. And it's gonna be, I think, about six fragrances, and I'm gonna start with the one that I love the most. And this fragrance was around for quite some time, and I heard a lot of things about it. And only recently I had to smell it, and it's Oud Maracuja. It's the fragrance by Joy de Fernandez, one of my favorite perfumers, like ever. I'll tell you the notes first. So it's passion fruit, saffron, rose, patchouli, benzoin, vanilla, leather, akigala wood. And guys, this fragrance is truly amazing, and I think it's absolutely worth the hype. I really like akigala wood. And second of all, this is the perfect combination of like fruits, wood, amber, a little bit of aromaticness from saffron. The rose is just a beautiful, well-balanced, amazing fragrance, and I loved it from like first sniff, 100% from the first seconds. So from the fragrances I smelled today, this fragrance is definitely the best for me, and the fragrance that I definitely would want a full bottle of. And I did not expect to like the passion fruit note that much, but it's incredible. So this fragrance, I can't say it's massively unique for me. I can now think of a couple of more fragrances in exactly going the same direction, but it's amazing. As I said, like from all the fragrances I smelled today, this is the best one. The second fragrance is going to be Ex Nihilo, actually. It's the fragrance that, again, I've heard a lot about, and I've seen it around social media quite a lot. Recently, it's Scarlet Suns, and I think this fragrance was either Dubai or Qatar exclusive. I'm not exactly sure, maybe both. And finally, it's in Harrods. And I had a very high expectation for this fragrance, guys, because, as I said, I've heard a lot about it. It's, Ex Nihilo, and I just had a lot of expectation, basically. And now, this fragrance, I can say I definitely is not my type of fragrance. I kind of understand the idea about this fragrance, and it does execute the name quite good. It's very dry fragrance, has sweetness to it. Basically, I want to tell you the notes, guys. Notes are mandarin, raspberry, orange blossom, jasmine, freesia, akigala wood, vanilla, amber, and the note sounds great. I just am not sure what gives this fragrance a little bit of a sort of bubblegum vibe. I'm not sure where it's coming from. Maybe from raspberry, maybe from somewhere else, I don't know. But this note bothering me a lot, and I felt it mostly in the opening, and top notes, going to the middle notes. And I don't like it, and I think this is some accord that I really dislike about this fragrance. And that's towards the dry down, like middle towards the dry down is getting better, the sweetness and everything, but this fragrance, A, is too dry for me, B, I'm not sure about that note I just mentioned, so I really don't like it. And again, it's not massively unique, this fragrance, so I think if I would want something like this, I would probably better go for Scent Dance from Stefan Humbert Luca. I think that fragrance executes this a bit better than Scarlet Suns. So yeah, I'll pass this one. I think this is just not fragrance for me, basically. The fragrance is Root Cherry. I think it's sort of a new fragrance from Fragrance du Bois. And before I start talking about this fragrance, I would say that I'm not a massive fan of cherry notes in fragrances. I like cherry sometimes when it's mixed with, I don't know, like chocolate notes or cacao or something like this. But cherry note itself, I'm not a fan. And I find this fragrance a bit, again, not unique. So it's a nice fragrance, it's woody, I definitely feel a cherry note there, it's very Dubois, it's quality fragrance, obviously. But for me, guys, if we're speaking cherry, I would better go, you know, for the which fragrance. There is a fragrance from HOUBIGANT, and I think there were three sort of new fragrances, not anymore, but they were new when I smelled them. They're in red bottles, so they all sort of have cherry in them. And one fragrance from this collection called AMBRE RUBIS, I think. This fragrance is amazing. I'm telling you guys, if you like cherry note, if you want something with cherry, something really, really attractive, something, I don't know, I find this fragrance very, very intoxicating. On my skin is so beautiful, I can't tell you. So basically try the AMBRE RUBIS. I think this fragrance, I don't know, the cherry note in there is just in its peak, basically, for me. You cannot do cherry better than in this fragrance. I think another fragrance that had cherry, I might be mistaken, because this fragrance I had for 6 or 7 years. I can't exactly remember the notes, but I think it has cherry in this. It's Fève Delicious from Dior. I think this fragrance has cherry note as well, and it's incredible. So I just think that the cherry note is a little bit overdone. It's a little bit, I can't say boring, but I don't know. I'm not excited about cherry notes anymore in fragrances. So this fragrance, Root Cherry, it's okay. I mean, go and smell it if you want. For me, if we're talking cherry, I have these two favorites I mentioned, and this one can't compete with them. Fragrance, I think is just quite fun to mention this fragrance, because it's been around, I think, for at least 2 or 3 years. I don't know, I've never smelled it before. It's the fragrance from NASOMATTO, and actually I wasn't planning to smell any NASOMATTOs today, but it was sort of a pop-up anyway. I smelled a few, and I really like the fragrance called SADONASO. And as I said, it's been around for like some time, and it just reminded me of fragrances from Tom Ford, like few Tom Fords. And I really like the one fragrance from Tom Ford called Noir de Noir. And this is just go in the same direction. Best describe this fragrance. I would want my boyfriend to own this fragrance, let's say. So I find this fragrance is really fun, is really like attractive. On a man, I just think this would sound like really, really interesting, this fragrance SADONASO, yeah. So this is just like a mention, basically, because I wasn't planning to smell it anyway. But another fragrance that I want to mention, and I wanted to smell this fragrance for as long as it's been out, basically, because it's another Jordi Fernandez fragrance, is LUCIUS. I think it's pronounced LUCIUS. It's a very nice fragrance, but I need to give it another go, basically. So from the first sort of try, I couldn't really understand it. I understood it's a nice sort of masculine scent. It's very aromatic. It's really nice, actually. Let's go to the notes of this fragrance, because I don't think I've checked the notes, actually. So the notes are mandarin, peppercorn, pink peppercorn, bergamot, orange blossom, cedarwood, vetiver, tonka bean, and amber. A very aromatic fragrance, guys. The only thing is it's more masculine leaning, basically. As much as I sometimes really like masculine fragrances, and I'm wearing unisex fragrances like all the time, and I really like heavy fragrances with oud and everything, I love wearing them. But this one, I honestly think is very masculine leaning fragrance, guys. Maybe because of the vetiver, I'm not sure. I think because of the vetiver. I think it's quite a lot of vetiver there. It's very nice, very aromatic, as I said. Very complex, very deep, and like intense fragrance. I just need to give it another go, basically, because I smelled it towards the end of my sort of visit to Harrods. I didn't have enough space on my skin to try it, and I just I sort of smelled it on my clothes. I really liked it, but I have to sort of retry it anyway. So I think that's about it. Enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, and see you soon.